Raji is a new action-adventure platformer that takes inspirations from God of War and Prince of Persia. The gameplay consists of platforming, puzzle solving, and combat. The platforming is decent for the most part. You will be jumping and climbing onto different things to progress. There are sequences where you quickly need to get through the platforming as stuff around you is being destroyed. Though the platforming mostly gets the job done, there is this feeling that more refinement could have been done here to make it a smoother experience. The platforming can feel stiff, and with the dodge button and the jump button tied to the same button, this can cause some frustration. There are some puzzles to break up the action. These mainly involve you rotating objects into place. And then you have these optional sections where you can gain some more insight into the culture. Most of the gameplay puts the focus on the combat. The combat is decent. You will be in plenty of closed off arenas where you need to fight off a bunch of enemies. You will have large foes, smaller enemies, and enemies that will use ranged attacks. You first have access to a spear, and you can perform light and heavy attacks, dodges, useful wall jumps, and pillar attacks. In certain areas, you can use special moves to hurt a lot of enemies at once. I mostly enjoyed attacking enemies, but the entire time I felt like the combat could be a bit tighter to control. The variety of different attacks and enemies helps to keep the action interesting. You will earn additional weapons to give you more options like a bow and arrow. There is one area that I think Raji does a good job at, the presentation with its story. The cutscenes are presented in this stylish format with puppets. They do some interesting things with this format and it keeps the storytelling engaging. While you are in the game, you will also have two gods discussing your actions.
One small carnival. The other performers were their friends, their only family. This was home. On that day before their performance, Raji took her brother aside. "Did you forget, little brother?" she asked him. And she died.
I found myself enjoying Raji while also seeing that it had a good amount of flaws. With the platforming, since the dodge button and the jump button are tied to the same button, this can make some of the jumping situations more annoying than they needed to be. I had a few instances of lag as well. The combat does provide a decent amount of options, but there's this feeling that the combat could be tighter to make it more responsive. There is enough good stuff here to make this worth trying if you're interested, but know that this is not the most refined game. I would recommend you try this one out on a sale. Thank you very much for watching.